Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay, they have these nice little candles for $3 at Dollar Tree. I think this is mulled wine. So far, so good. I like it. Smells really good. I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay, this video is Become Your Own Stockpile Expert. Major life events prepared, yes or no? We have to prepare. It's only a matter of time until something is going to happen. Okay, like what? Well, how about a power outage? Okay, they have had a power outage in London for 3 hours. It was 2:30 in the afternoon, and it is now corrected. People were on the tube, which is like an underground train, and some of them walked up the escalator to get out, which I think was a good idea, but some people just stayed. I guess, well, it depends where you're going. But I'd say if you could, you would want to get out because you don't really know the source of the power outage. So it was corrected. And then there was a power outage, I think about a few days ago, Spain, Portugal, and France. Okay, and they said that was the electrical grid. So what happened? No phones, no internet, train stopped, no food or water, they were stranded. Then there was panic buying and no water. The people stripped the stores. There's no cash when the grid is down. The government systems were down. They said maybe this is a solar flare. The hospitals had 6 hours. And it is to last 1 to 10 days. Okay, so now I mentioned to you that I bought salt so that if my freezer goes out, I am going to salt my meat. There was some riots, some chaos, and the airports were down. So now the thing about power outages is you can't work and there might not be any water. That's the two bad things about that. So we want a food storage in case there's nothing else to eat. Okay, what I'm trying to do is work on my garden. So I was out there working on my garden, and I thought I am going to go to Walmart and see if I can buy a couple plants because I want to buy I want to have a potted plant garden. Okay, the tomato plants are $5. I go, forget it. I will do my own. But look how cheap this is. Another grapevine for $3.50. I have 3. I said I'll take it. My grapevines seem to be coming along. They weren't. They were doing awful. And so now I read that grapevines don't like too much water. And so I had a pretty bad garden for the same reason. So now I've started watering my plants a lot and they're doing much better. So I got another grapevine I should go buy a couple more for that price. Okay, now Stockpile. What did I buy? So I want to buy a little food for my stockpile, and then I'll show you what I bought. Okay, the first thing I bought was at Walmart. This is Iberia Premium Blend Sunflower Oil and Extra Virgin Oil. I don't know what percent, and I don't care because this stuff was $7.98. The carnivores go, oh, seed oil is really going to poison you. That is fine. I want to make sure I have oil. Let's see if I can determine what percent. Well, I can't, of course, easily find it. but the expiration is December 2027. So for the stockpile, that is perfect. So I bought that. What's worse is no oil. All right, then I bought salad dressing, balsamic vinaigrette dressing, because I will be moving to a low-carb diet. I'm not staying on the carnivore diet indefinitely. This is the second week and the last day of the carnivore diet. I think what I'll do is I'll end it this week, because 2 weeks is a lot when you're 70. You have to be careful. And then I'll go and I will go back on my low carb diet, but not too low. So I bought this rather than trying to make my own, and it was on sale for $2.50. I go, perfect. Also, I bought hot sauce because I eat hot sauce on the eggs. Another thing is, I don't think it's really good for me eating so much bacon and so much butter. I learned something. They go, you know why people keep eating and eating and eating? It's the fat. They're not getting satiated. And I don't want to eat little pieces of butter. So, but I did buy this because I also make hot wing chicken. Let's see, is this one 0 calories? Yeah, this one's 0 calories too. Just sprinkle a little on your meat. So I'm cutting calories as much as I can. And then I bought this because this is a really good deal for $1. Oh, this was a whole $1.36, but that is fine, because the day comes, you go, I wish I had some cupcakes. It's somebody's birthday. My son loves carrot cakes. All right, so let's see. And then I learned something on this diet. Okay, I was watching this doctor, and he said, when you're ready to crack on your diet, drink one of these kind of fruity type sodas with 0 calories. Does this have 0 calories? Yeah, 0 calories. And it really does kind of work. The other thing that I'm not wild about is that I have to load up on dairy to stand the meat. So I don't think it's... I am really happy because I'm probably going to lose 2 pounds. But even if I was only to lose 1 pound, or even if I was to only stay at 4 pounds total, I'd be happy, because that's actually a lot of weight. All right, and then I bought rubber gloves yesterday at Dollar Tree, and they were crap. I got a hole, so I had to buy more rubber gloves for $1.74. I said, I'll pay 50 more cents. The birds, I had to buy them a mineral block. So that was $21.72. Okay, so now I want to talk about this, becoming your own stockpile expert. Okay, when people run out of money, one of the things they're going to go very short on very quick, if you haven't been stocking up, is meat. So I mentioned to you, I think it was yesterday, I bought an organic chicken for $9. So I ate the leg and the thigh. I ate one last night and one today. Then I had, this was the back and two wings, and so I will eat those tomorrow, the last day of the carnivore. And then this reminded me of my dad. So this is easily around 2 meals, counting this. And this is crazy, but this is the old-fashioned way. And legal this is water. And then I had, there's the neck. There's the heart, there's the liver, and then there's a bone in here. So I put everything in here with water and some chives. So I made some carnivore soup, and I will eat that tomorrow. Okay, so, and then I had 2 half breasts, and that was a pretty small looking chicken. To me, I don't think that it's noticeably tastier than a regular chicken, but it wasn't that much more expensive. So we want to stock up on some meat, and we want to be prepared. What I have quite a while ago, I stopped stocking everything in my freezer except meat and cheese. And then I think I mentioned to you guys that I bought quite a few of these good cheeses on sale. I might not have lost as much weight because, you know, I was eating cottage cheese and kefir. But that's okay. Okay, people cut back on meat, dairy and cheese, fast food, pre-cut produce. Okay, fast food is just getting too expensive, like $8, $9 for a meal, like hamburger, fries, and a drink. So you probably don't want to be doing that okay, why we want to become stockpile experts is because these tariffs may affect the cost of living. Okay, the Chinese tariffs were 145%. So if something was $1, it was now $2.40. So they've reduced it down to 30%. So if it was $1, then it was $1.30. So you might be thinking, that's not so bad. Now wait a minute. This is why I spent all those years critically thinking. We have $1.30. So then let's add a 0. We have 1,300. Now let's add another 0. So you see how that 30% adds up? How that is taking a bite? No. That's for the next 90 days. And I do not think that it's ever going back down. That's just my opinion. Okay, pre-cut produce. I buy bags of marked down produce at Ralph's for $1. I buy every kind of vegetable, every kind of fruit. Cereal, okay. If you have kids, they like to eat bowls of cereal with milk. So we'll go into that in a minute. Prepared meals like frozen food. So what we need is meals ready to eat and low cost, easy meals. So we've been talking about some of that. So, okay, let me, all right, so now we want to stockpile some meat in a way that's going to give us at least 5 ounces of meat once a day. That means full-size cans. So, and a variety. So, are these 5 pounds? 5 ounces? Yeah. Okay, chicken. Make a chicken sandwich. Tuna. I bought this good tuna marked down. 5 ounces. Where's that? Uh-oh, sneaky, 4 ounces. When they shave off an ounce, that's 20%. You're getting 20% less, so you're paying 20% more. And then diced ham is 5 ounces. This stuff comes in really handy if you want to get yourself a little can of beans. And then this is cheap hash, but you can get by on this stuff. Just get some eggs and some toast, and you already have this. So we're not helpless. We're preparing. We're not going, oh, I'm preparing for the worst. No, this is the way I live. I want to share this with you because I guarantee you there's somebody out there that's going to get hit by a power outage. There's somebody out there that's going to lose their job. There's somebody out there that something hideous is going to happen to. All right, and you're going to need food and you can't work. Okay, now this is 15 ounces, Dollar Tree. So you get some rice. And this is, so I have 7, these are 7 ounces. So basically 3.5 ounces a day for 2 days. The stockpile is for eating when you don't have anything else to eat or you're running low on. And then you might go, I hate these things. Well, what you can do with them is you can bake them like a little bit of, like a little ham. And they're not bad. And make a can of sweet potatoes and maybe some corn. Or you can fry these and then move them over. Scramble an egg. Put some mixed vegetables and some salt, pepper, and sugar and some rice. That'll make a pretty decent size of fried rice. So, okay, meat. And then I took this out. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to say to ourselves, I need a little plan that's for all the time. So we want bread with pine nuts, but if you don't have any, use any kind of nuts or don't use it nuts. Cheese and small fishes. Or you can do it this way. Small fishes, rice, and beans. Okay, now for beans, we'll get into that in a minute. I'll give you a shot of the whole thing. You know, when the COVID hit, my neighbors moved their kids, a family of 4 next door, into a small townhouse, and they stayed in there until the coast was clear. And a lot of people are cutting back because they are unsure as to what might possibly happen, and they want to make sure. So now these are only 3.75, but just get your bread, your sardines, your cheese, and your small fishes. You can survive, and some fruit, some dry fruit. Okay, now let's go to some. I buy these so cheap in a thrift store, and they have the best recipes. Okay, I want to give you some of the best recipes. Okay, the first one is the Easy Baked Beans. 2 large cans of baked beans, 1 can stewed tomatoes, 1/4 to 1/2 cup molasses, 2 teaspoons of dry mustard, I just use mustard, and 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. So I want to give you guys this. If you have baked beans, you can survive. Get yourself some toast and some eggs and some peaches. Make yourself some chicken, some baked beans, and some potato salad. Have it in mind what you're going to do. Probably we should be carrying some water and food with us. The people in Spain, Portugal, and wherever were distraught. Okay, now this is a good tuna vegetable. 1 can cream of chicken soup or mushroom soup. 1 can cheddar cheese soup. But what you can do is just use macaroni and cheese, you know, the box. 2 cans water, 2 packages of frozen mixed vegetables, 2 cans of tuna, and 1 bag of chips. In the day, we used to put the potato chips on the top. That's comfort food. That's cheap food too. Sorry to say it, but it's true. Then I have a very important recipe, pickled beets. 4 quarts small to medium beets, tops removed, scrub well. 4 cups vinegar, 2 cups water, 2 1/2 cups sugar, 2 teaspoons allspice, 1 3-inch stick of whole cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon whole cloves, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. The thing you need is the vinegar and the salt. Cook the beets until tender, snip off the skins, combine vinegar, water, spices, sugar and spices, tied in a bag, and simmer. I just simmer everything myself. Simmer 15 minutes, add beets, and simmer for 5 minutes longer. Pack the beets in hot canning jars. The jars are hot when the food is hot. Bring syrup to a boil, remove the spice bag, and then pour syrup over beets. If you run a little short of syrup, fill the jar with hot water, to the lid. Adjust the lids and seal. Process in a water bath or steam canner 30 minutes. So why this is a good one is because then you're going to have that good salad. You're going to have romaine lettuce, tomatoes that you're growing in your backyard, or I am going to be growing cherry tomatoes year round, and beets, and balsamic vinaigrette dressing. Okay, now what? Okay, now for cereal. I want to mention this because I think I just learned this. It's one of the best things I ever learned. I learned this from Rocky Ingram, I-N-G-R-A-M. Okay, this is, I'm watching the bodybuilders. I stockpile these, but I want to make my own. All right, the bodybuilders are the best. Okay, this is my oatmeal, so I keep this one in the kitchen. At all times, I have about 10 pounds, but I do have more cereal too. But you cook your oatmeal, and then you sprinkle a little granola on the top, and maybe some fruit, if you have it, some dry fruit. So I bought 2 kinds of granola. Oh, that's not it. I think I told you. You can take the chocolate out of your granola and make some cookies or just eat it. So you have your oatmeal, you have your granola, or you can use unsweetened coconut and you just toast it in the oven for a few minutes. But why stockpiling coconut is so good is because what I do is I put coconut, not too much, maybe about 3/4 of a cup. I cover it with water. I boil it down until it's really soft, and then I put my coconut water and the coconut in my blender, and I blend, and then I strain it. And then if I have to, if I need it, I add water. And then I'm always going to have coconut milk. I'm always going to have milk. One of the best ones I like are these milks from Ralph's. But these are expensive, so if you can't afford this, go to Walmart and get they have some nice canister of milk for $5. And then you can also put this on your oatmeal. So you're going to have lots of cereal, no hungry kids, no hungry you. Okay, now I just started doing this. Okay, I started buying these meals ready to eat. You have to shop for a deal. I bought these for 99 cents at Grocery Outlet. So if something happens, I'm just going to eat them. I bought this at Dollar Tree. And then I bought this at Dollar Tree. So what you can do is you can scramble some eggs and add this with some soy sauce. That's going to give you a lot of food. Okay, I want to mention this. All right, on this Small Fish's rice and beans, it can be any kind of beans. He had Bush's baked beans, and he has black beans, but I like these brown sugar beans, or you can make your beans. I gave you the recipe, so I wanted to mention that. It's not life and death yet. Don't wait until you lose your job. Okay, what this is good for is if you have your oatmeal, add extra water, and then you can just pour a little bit of evaporated milk, and it will create milk with a lot less milk in your oatmeal. You can do that with anything that you add milk to. All right, so I wanted to mention evaporated milk. So, meat, dairy, and cheese. I buy the cheese marked down. Fast food. I buy fast food all the time. I use my app, and I mentioned to you I found a $5 meal at Jack in the Box. Pre-cut produce. You can buy pre-cut produce. Just get it marked down. Name brands. Those are going to cost you more, but I do buy them. I go to the markdown bins, like at Ralph's or Walmart, and I buy stuff. I figure prepared meals mean like frozen meals, but I mentioned to you one of my best meals is I get the cheap chicken pot pies. I make mashed potatoes, and I put the chicken pot pie on top of the mashed potatoes with corn. That's from when I was young, when I was a divorcee, when I had a bad attitude, okay? Okay, low cost and easy meals. So I gave you some of those. Okay, so we're preparing for power outage, garden, and stockpile being the most important thing. And I told you what I bought for the food storage. Okay, now I want to talk about major life events. Okay, if you're like us and you've been enduring a lot of hardship, you might be thinking, how many major events does one person enjoy in a lifetime? Actually, the average person has more than 30 life events. Some are maybe good and some are maybe not so good. So think about graduation from high school, driving, graduation from college, getting a job, maybe buying a house, marriage, children, moving is a life event, death in the family, divorce, maybe more than one, illness, job loss. So we want to prepare for all of these. We want to go, okay, what's the chance that I'm going to get a divorce? Well, very little, but if my husband goes rogue on me. When my husband showed every sign, I kept telling him, I'm telling you, you better stop. Okay, war, possible. No money. That's right up there with food storage. If you don't have money and you don't have food, what do you think you're going to do? You can get food from the church, you can get food from the pantries, but you're going to get whatever food they give you. I have never seen a food pantry that gave me that much. Well, that's not true. One of the churches did give us quite a bit of meat. Okay, so you got to find those. War, no money. Grid down, crop failure. Crop failure is really bad because if you live in a third world country, you're going to starve. But if you live in our country or one of the developed countries, you're going to pay more. Illness. So people, here's a good event. Rising debt and rising cost of living. So those are some of the major events. Job loss, I used to get that one all the time. So, and then we want to prepare so that if there is a grid down, we're not the one out there trying to get water. Also, reject these ideas of life straws and drinking contaminated water out of your tap. Save your bottles and find a place where you can refill them. That's what I do. and forget the idea that we're never going to be hit. You know, America, we're going to be great again. Forget that. If we are great again and we have food in our house, then we're just going to eat it. If our freezers are packed full of meat and cheese, that's the same thing. We're going to eat it. If we have food all over the house, we're going to say hallelujah, praise God, you know, just in case. Okay, so become your own stockpile expert. Okay, I want to mention, if you're a vegetarian, the meat expert idea is no good. If you're a carnivore, the vegetable idea is not for you. So that you want to be thinking about that. If you have kids and you know you don't want life dreary. I saw one thing, and it was the opposite, where instead of a dad left, the mom left, and the kid said, when can we have ketchup again? So after that, I stocked up on ketchup. Another thing about you want cash and you want gas. You don't want to be like gasless in the middle of some, also you're not going to be able to get any money out of the bank. You don't want to keep enough money that you're going to be robbed or anything like that either. As for the grid down, if you live in a very cold place, you always want to be prepared with heat. Or if you live in a very hot place, or if there's something like a hurricane or a tornado, you have to be all the time prepared. So those are kind of things to think about. Okay, I want to mention today ends the spending day, and I've tracked all of my spending, and it was very unsuccessful no spend. But I had to buy everything from rat poison to sleeping pills to, beauty crap, you know, stuff like that, gasoline twice. But I'll give you a shot. So if you start tracking your spending, so on these days where I had one $60 day. And this is when I'm trying not to spend any money. And I thought, yeah, that shows you what kind of paper towels, napkins, toilet paper. And then here's the carnivore. Tomorrow is the last day, and then I'm going to reevaluate. I had 2 free days. I didn't take this free day. And then starting here, I will probably go off the carnivore, irrespective of the weight loss because of my age. Okay, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all. I'll be canning some beets. I'll be making some more kefir, and I'm going to try. You want to practice salting your meat now before the power goes off.